guys. It's just me again. I know you keep waiting for the buxom young blonde to show up, but you'll have to settle for bald and moobs. Login reward. Ooh. 5 AP. I'll take that. AP is active. So I now want to move stuff around. There, dual shot there. Make sure we've got these right. That's a consumer. No, it's not a consumer. Why isn't that going in there? Ah, that's the consumer, right? Okay, so that's there. No. Cannot have more than one basic ability. Oh, there's dual shot. That's a consumer. That's the basic, right? More than one basic ability. That's the basic. Got it. All right. So we come over here. Why didn't that work this time? Oh, it did. Okay. Good. That is the left click for single shots as a builder, and that is the right click. That's a single target. That's not the one I wanted then, damn it. Is that the one I wanted? That's the one I wanted. Okay, well, I didn't get the one I wanted, so now we go back to where the way things were. It's a bit of a slow start, guys. You know. This gets him back on the menu, as is deconstruct. Right. All right. Hi. Welcome.
Now come back without a peace out.
Now you'll note, I could actually do the quest I did with her, actually on cooldown. So in 45 minutes. But right now, I have to examine the blue cultist's fires, where we left off. Another player. He's got a hammer. Danny Trashman DeVito. If he had a hammer, he'd hammer in the morning. Welcome to your weekend, I hope. Now, there's a named mob on the other side of the gas station, but sadly, I don't think they give you prizes other than the first time you killed them. Oh, wow. We cannot have everything, although I'm not quite sure why. I would like it. We left it ourselves. Helping out Norma. And we did that by clearing out a whole bunch of zomboys for her. Now we need to check out the cultist fires. I will examine it. I need to kill 8 cultists for body parts. Okay, that's a little on the wrong side. It's for body parts. I'm sure they're not using them. There. All right, so the cave's down over there. Right. We have an ancient idol. Well, I'm sure nothing unpleasant will happen if I pick up an ancient idol sitting in a cave, right? What could possibly go wrong? Reanimated warriors would be the answer. Destroy the idol in Norma Creed's bonfire. Well, we'll head it over there shortly, and then we'll destroy it in a bonfire. We've got 1973. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to burn some anima for a teleport to Norma's place. To next door to Norma's place. Idol. Oh, light the cultist fires to complete the ritual. I have to head back. No, that was a waste of 100. Anima, not enema. The idol of Nurgle is cursed, as you have no doubt witnessed. The Akkadian god of the underworld summons the dead whenever he feels threatened. When the Illuminati first recovered the idol, they put it on display in one of the infamous council parties. Imagine how that turned out. It is just like them to dig up something dangerous and then toss it into a cave somewhere. There are things in this world better left undiscovered. If they must be found, better by us. And we will upgrade our neck talisman. And I need to go back and do more work with the blue fires. Light the cultist fire to complete the ritual. Oops, hey, we've got a little piece of lore. Did we crash? I think we did. We crashed. We crashed twice last night early. Then everything was solid. So we'll give it a couple of shots. If we crash out a couple more times, though, I will call it and probably have to stop with the free-to-play through, which will disappoint me. Sorry about that. Crashed out twice early last night, and then we went like an hour and a half with no problem. I really didn't want to fall into that, and yet I did. Didn't even realize there was a thing to fall in there until I fell in there. So guys, there's a thing you can fall in there.
Special assignment received. Initializing.
So this is just for if I kill some of these mobs. Those ones I don't think counted. Yeah, reanimated warriors. Some of the mobs down here are specifically reanimated warriors. Like this guy. Whoops. These guys. No, actually, it might just be one warrior and a bunch of townies. That was one reanimated warrior. He just happened to bring along friends. Thought I'd finished him. Evidently, I had not. Do it and get the bonus. Just dynamically giving out kill missions. Kill a few dudes. Dudes are dead. Take your extra benefit. I have lit a cultist fire. I have lit a second. I think it's 3 I have to light. No, 2. No, 3. That one. Maybe they all need to be lit at the same time. I don't think so. But it does summon a critter, now that I think of it. Defeat the cult leader. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Is there any way to get up there? There's a bit of lore up there I want to get. Fine, I'll live without. Go back and check on Norma. Congratulations to all of you on surviving another week to get to the weekend. He supports computer infrastructure in a large company, and everything blew up. And it took him all week to find the problem. Another level for me.
Well now, I'm not much fit for entertaining, but I reckon you ain't much in the mood for hospitality either, am I right?
I don't know.
I'm not a big talker, eh?
Got any single
I'm
malt?
used to that from a surly husband, and kids more comfortable with kicking a ball around than having a conversation with their ma. Name's Nama. Nama Creed.
Hi, Nama.
Raised a family up here.
Wow, I
this
didn't shake her
dungeon
hand. I'm
thick
kind of a
fog
dick.
came, took him is my story. Helen sent you over to check on me, I reckon. Now, your concern is wicked kind, but I don't need any pitying. I got my shotgun, I got what's left of my wits. I'll manage. Now, this hullabaloo began after the Lady Margaret came back. My husband Larry, the others, we all thought that they'd gone missing out there, but the sea took them. They came back. Whole town could finally breathe again. But then came that fog, like it was following them back to shore. 'Twas right, said they, such birds to slay, that bring the fog and mist. Don't ask me where I got that from. Probably heard it on Oprah. Never got to ask Larry about what happened in those weeks they were gone. Been around gift horses long enough not to look him in the mouth. He was back. Thought life would go on the way life goes on, one day at a time. When the fog lifts enough to see the Lady Margaret laid up in the harbor, covered in that red seaweed, I always wonder if he'd still be here if I had.
Poor Noma. We've got another passive skill. Controlled shooting rolls through enemies. Controlled shooting is, I think, what I need. It is. And becomes even stronger for each enemy hit. That's what I want. I'm not already unlocked that one. I thought I did. Maybe not. I guess I didn't. I have 10. That should be enough. There we go. 2 more action points, and we'll get the primary trash clearer I like with the pistol. Basically, ricocheting bullets creatively. Thank you for your contribution and efforts in cleaning up the area. The inland undead are scavengers, but you must respect the numbers and their speed. Those that shamble along the shore are more similar in nature, though they're more closely tied to the Draug. The cultists are the most autonomous and industrious of the undead. If they spent their lives practicing black arts and bowing to all manner of atrocity, centuries of sleep has apparently done nothing to eliminate old habits. Former primordial priests, banished magi, worshippers who sacrificed and were sacrificed, who knows what else. Something in that black soil nurtured their mystical talents and inspired them to rise rejuvenated. We got a couple of improvements. We'll upgrade our waist. Talisman. Nice. As you upgrade, I think it's at level 20, you can no longer upgrade them. So what you do then is you upgrade a second one to get it up to level 20, and you smoosh them together, and you get a level 1 of the next tier of quality. Blue, green, blue, yellow, not sure. But basically, and that one can go up to level 25. So you go from a level 20 to a level 1 blue that's more powerful than a level 20 green. All the way up to 25 blue, and then purple. Purple after that, and those go up to 30. And this is a claw. We're not going to be using claws. So we will feed it to our pistol, because our pistol is going to be our primary going forward. I just like the way pistol plays. Investigate the Lady Margaret next. Well, these guys are going to aggro on me, so let's just make things a little easier for them. Annihilate them. Easier for them, you know. Up. And there's the Lady Margaret out there at the pier. Sometimes you just gotta shoot a zombie. Like I said yesterday, I think technically the Draugr are from Celtic mythology. All kinds of fictional and mythological stuff pops up in this game. Their influences are from everywhere. It's the Lady Margaret. And it's the captain. Oh, he was spewing green puke everywhere. Abandoned ammo. I'll take that. More ammo from the Lady Margaret. I got the captain's log. Lucky to be writing this. Can't believe what happened. Shouldn't believe it. That's what Doc Bannerman would say. Shrink's gonna be earning his pay when we get home. If we get home. Larry and his boy Derek are clammed up. Joe's real fevered. And this thing still is shining like a flashlight. Look over my shoulder. I swear I still see that fog. And because I've been here before, I happen to know that there is a piece of lore here. And this time, the lore did not crash the game. Hey. Alright. Spider Impaler. That's another skill point. 10 AP. That's good. Ask Dr. Bannerman about the Lady Margaret. Well, let's go ahead and pay the 100 anima for fast travel. Which is free if you subscribe. That's one of the differences between the free-to-play and the paid experience.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, Moose. I've got mail. Hey, Deputy Andy here. Hope I'm not bothering you. Your boss managed to contact Sheriff Bannerman, and she thought it'd be a good idea for her team to have your contact info. I noticed you too late when you stopped by earlier. You see, I can't help myself with the accents. It was already running towards the docks. I was too focused on the duty. Ha! I'm glad you came back. When you get the opportunity, could you swing by and say hello? I'd like to share some observations with you. Just a sec, I have to ask Dr. Bannerman.
The Lady Margaret was a traumatic experience for everyone on board.
Yeah.
They were changed men when they came back. I visited with all of them in the days following their return.
Ask him until he gives you a lead.
In my office, there are detailed transcripts of our sessions. I'm afraid it all happened so fast that day there was no time to pack. I hope they may shed some light on what happened out there.
Thank you, Doc. The Curious Case of Joe Slater. Got another player. There's another player here. Dr. Banner's looking for the lost pages of his report on Joe Slater. Gather them up and deliver them to his file. Dr. Banner has written a psychiatric evaluation of a man called Joe Slater. Several pages are missing, and the report doesn't make much sense without them finding the lost pages. That is
Now
Cameron.
you are a sight for sore eyes.
Can't make out the name. Too long. She moved away too quick. Let's head on up and talk to Deputy Andy. Isle of Gaiman, Liberty. Cameron, Isle of Gaiman, Liberty. That's G-A-M-I-N. Could be Isle of Gamin, but I'm assuming Isle of Gaming. And, yeah. Draugnet. And he has a theory about the sea monsters. Oh, I need to place the ammo in the box first. I did it again. Doodaloo. Field report's been received, analyzed. Another challenge complete for the daily. This is a sword. I, of course, have no use for a sword. So I will feed it to the Chaos Focus.
Critical empowerment results.
Challenge complete. Two more daily challenges to go, so that's 2 more main missions and 2 more monster guilds. And that'll finish the first 2. Before we go any further, we're now going to attempt to rejigger our stuff again. We want controlled shooting, because who wouldn't want controlled shooting, really? That goes there. That comes off. That goes there. That goes there. There we go. Excuse me. And we'll put that on there for now. We don't need to worry about it. Oh, that's right. We can't have more than one basic attack. So the basic attack is free and is a builder. Oh, and that requires, in my primaries, I do have to swap the weapons. Like that. Like that, I said. Like that. There we are. Oh, almost unequipped. There we are. There we are. So we've got the basic ability, which is a free one. That's a single target. We have our left click, which is a single target that's a consumer. And our right click, which is a multiple target that's a consumer. And we start with 15 ammo, and we use that as we go.
Those kittens, jeez.
Andy has a theory about the sea monsters and how to potentially slow their advance. Kill Draug and destroy their pods to find out if he's onto something. Andy's been observing the monsters that came from the sea and how they drag slimy pods around and onto the beach. He figures the pods must be valuable. Go down to the beach to study the Draug and do whatever you can to sabotage them. Talk to me, Andy.
Now the walking dead? I can wrap my head around that. They're dead folk, just walking is all. But those other things? Tall and pale, slimy as maggots? They washed up with the fog. They came and dragged the townsfolk out to sea. Drowned them. Just like my dad with the kittens. He took them out to sea in a garbage bag. Said they were gonna go for a swim. Said they needed the exercise. They never came back. A few years later, neither did my dad. Jeez, I still miss those kittens.
That's an old joke repurposed.
The townsfolk, they did come back, dragging what looked like eggs. The big ones, they come out of those eggs, like something from Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They're littered all over the place and guarded, and I'm thinking to myself, Andy, that's gotta mean something. That's gotta be a clue. Why keep an eye on something if it ain't valuable? That's police work. That's deduction, plain and simple.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
So I'm thinking, what came first, the maggot or the egg? Obviously the egg, right?
What I noticed while he was talking was over here,
See you later.
we have a Pump-O-Matic. Pump-O-Matic T500. Well, the T400, you know, it had problems. Draugnet, Curious Case of Joe Slater. Let's start with Joe Slater. Nice quiet town they got here. I may now resurrect at the Animal Well Kingsmouth Congregational, the local church. And over here, we can tell by the yellow glow that we've got a little bit of lore. A severed hand. Okay, we'll take note of that. All right. Report, page 3. Page 2. Page 6. Page 13. I think it's on the porch. It's not back here. I may now resurrect at the Animal Well for Belmont Avenue. Another player! Another player! There it is. Page 7. I will read the report, but first, before we head back, a cleaning woman lies on the edge of a childless park. There's no shortage of dead people in Kingsmouth, or of secrets they may have kept. The woman clutches a phone in her hand. There's a message flashing on the screen. Someone was trying to reach her. Maybe someone still is. Grab the phone. You are totally exaggerating these wounds. Just crawl over to the church and send me the Hawthorne surveillance. You're like right there. The control pad is under a stone in the front of the church. The code for the keypad is the first song he planned to sing on Sunday. I'm forwarding to someone else in 5. You know what that means. another player. So there's at least 3 of us running around. That's Annette Anime Meta and Sierra Seaweed Altarian. Well, there's at least 4 of us running around then, because I hadn't seen either. And there's Drace Helsing. There's at least 5 of us running around. The first song scheduled is 576, or first psalm, I suppose, whichever. So that 576 should be the key found on the stone over here. Use hidden keypad. Goal completed. Enter the code and forward the footage to headquarters. Dirty laundry. Fine work. We shall pore over the footage to see if it reveals anything about Henry Hawthorne and the church. Most likely this was an attempt by the Illuminati to keep track of its most ardent fan, one who got a little too close. Outlandish surveillance is an Illuminati strong suit, though, in their defense, they do have a habit of attracting the eccentrics. Another sword. Who needs a sword? Give me pistols. Lots of pistols. And we've got the case of Joe Slater. We can have up to 3 side missions, right? That's I have to read, right? Read the medical report. Is that in my inventory? No. Okay, that's back in the other direction. I think I read that. I think that's probably next to Bannerman in the police office. So, given my familiarity with the game in general, it does seem like it is a solid, the free-to-play offering is a solid representation of the game as a whole. It doesn't feel like I'm missing out on anything by not paying or having paid in the past. Session 1. First time seeing Joe Slater, believe he's always suffered from mild hypomania. This business with the Lady Margaret has just brought it to the fore. Session 2. Hypnosis was a bust. Joe doesn't want to remember whatever happened to him there. I got him speaking in tongues, well, a tongue, called around the harbor boys. They say it's old Icelandic. Now, where the hell does a townie pick that up? Session 3. Paranoid episodes are becoming more violent, not towards others, towards himself. Convinced he's being hunted, convinced he's changing. Session 4. He self-harmed last night, lacerating his arms and chest. Claimed he was trying to cut out the new skin. Session 5. I'm seeing a serious physical reaction to his self-harming. It's beyond me. Now, all I can give him are sedatives. He needs secure care. Field report's been received. Another waste talisman.
Now you are a sight for sore eyes.
I am a sight for sore eyes. Let us... No. Locate Dr. Bannerman's clinic. That's where we're going to go next. Don't chase me. Just run to the police as if it was for assistance, and they'll shoot you. Just like real life. See? 2 shots. Both guns, so a total of 4 shots. And they just bounce around and they hit everybody, and that's that. It tidies up a mess. go to the harbor. Well, I'm going to Dr. Bannerman's office. Sun's out. It's a lovely day, you know, except for the zombies. Kingsmith Medical Center Clinic. Doop doop. Inspect the CD case. Antonio Vivaldi, Le Quattro Stagioni. The Four Seasons. Broken framed photo. Night Helen and I met under the fireworks, set to the Four Seasons. Handwritten note. Robert, I had a wonderful time last night. Looking forward to seeing you soon again. Hope you enjoyed the CD. It's the only Vivaldi that Flags had in stock. Helen. Case database. Help. Type hint for the password hint. Favorite composer. They changed this. This used to be a little more complicated of a puzzle quest. Basically, all you had was the date, I think, that it was composed, and the piece of music, maybe? Something like that. It was more complicated than that kind of a giveaway. Divulging information from the case database can lead to fines, deregistry from the Maine Medical Board, and significant litigation. The deviant teenager. Regarding patient Danny Dufresne. Dufresne, that name ring a bell? Contact details 10 Belmont Avenue. Referral Mr. Rosen. Reason for referral, deviant behavior including voyeurism and graffiti. Method. Helen thought that this assessment would be the best way to stop Mr. Rosen from pressing charges. It was pretty funny. The YouTube clip of Rosen in his underwear watering roses. Diagnosis. Danny's a fine, healthy young man. His sense of humor might make him some enemies. Let's go to the fortune teller first, before we go to the Lady Margaret. Regarding patient Madame Roger, real name unknown. Contact details, Lovecraft Lane. That sounds familiar. Referral self-appointment. Reason for referrals not discussed, not disclosed. Method. Madame Roger seems to suffer from a variety of deviant sexual fantasies, not the least of which involve an inappropriate doctor-patient relationship. Diagnosis? Dynamite! Regarding patients Derek Creed, Lawrence Creed, and Joe Slater. Lawrence and Derek Creed, business address 5 Main Street. Joe Slater, home address 20 Arkham Avenue. Referral. They came to me after the Lady Margaret limped back into harbor. All of them needed help, so I arranged separate interviews. Derek Creed notes. Derek suffers from severe headaches and a keen sense of paranoia. The similarities with Joe Slater and Lawrence Creed are alarming. It seems the symptoms develop at uneven rates, but I fear everyone on the boat might be affected with this, whatever it is. Lawrence Creed. Second consultation with Lawrence today. The headaches are getting worse, to the point where he can no longer function normally. The paranoia is not abated, and he has developed a new symptom, night terrors. I prescribed an antidepressant, but if his development is anything like Joe's, I fear it'll only get worse. And now Joe. I saw Joe again today. This was the 4th consultation, and I'm at a loss. He was barely coherent, his left leg twitched, and he obsessively scratched his right arm. Paranoia has developed into severe delusions. Consulted with Hartman in New York, who suggested the symptoms are most likely signs of schizophrenia, which echo my earlier diagnosis, with others from the boat presenting similar symptoms, however, and the patient's lack of response to medication. I feared this might be something environmental, something eating away at the brain. Prescribed clozapine, but I'm not optimistic. have to find Derek and Lawrence. Fortunately. It's a small town. Can't be too tough to find them, especially when they are clearly labeled on the map. A group of 3 players. And 2 of them I had seen. I'll be frank, this is the most players I've seen in this game in a couple of years. You see what happens? I start playing a game and everyone else signs up. I'm an influencer, you know. Really, I should be getting, you know, large-scale endorsement deals. I know. That new streaming, what is it? Kick? Anyway, they should be paying me millions of dollars to stay on Twitch. Derek is coming after me with his fetid teeth. Oh. I was using my multi-attack foolishly. Almost got me killed. Note to self, remember, right click is for multiple targets, left click is for single targets. Oh, was he eating his father or son? Father. I think the son was eating his father. That seems wrong somehow. I can't quite put my finger on it. Now there's a trail of greenness running from his house. You need to level more before you venture forth. Reach character level 12. I did just level up, but not to character level 12. But he's gone downstairs, so to speak. We've got skill points. Let's see. The one we have up is dual shot. Distortion, duality, butterfly effect. That's the chaotic. I'm looking at the wrong damn thing. There we go. Stack deck, fatal shot, dual shot. So we need to add that first. And get this when we get another 5 points. Well, 4 points. Reach character level 12 before we can continue with the main storyline. So, Dragnet. Kill 3 Figer Impalers blocking the beach access. Okay. One. 2. I've killed 10 Draug so far. More to come. Destroy 3 brood pods. 1. 2. 3. Kill 3 Figer maulers. That's a mauler. Another mauler over here. Up here? Probably not. Those are impalers. I need... Ah, there's a mauler. Oh, wrong action. I'm gonna see if I can. I appear to have attracted a great deal of attention. Alright, we screwed up, but we survived. Because we're tougher and smarter, and obviously much sexier. Somewhat sexier. Slightly. I need incubators. That's a sea collar. Some maulers. Oh dear. No problem, had it the whole way. Note to self, stop misclicking like a dumbass. And maybe you'll spend less time running away from stuff. Maybe. I need one more incubator. Let's get rid of this mauler because he's kind of in the way. Let me get into an incubator without worrying about unnecessary aggro. Kill Figer brood witches. That's a brood witch. I remember to click the appropriate button and choose shots that don't ricochet around. I'm less likely to, I don't know, pull half the Draugr neighborhood. Imposing sounding music. Alright, one more brood witch. Open a hole, so to speak, through the line of undeads. Not a fan of respawns when I'm trying to get something done. kill the Figer Lord. He's out in the middle of everything. So I have to basically fight my way through and... Can I get through before I aggro? Looks like yes. Looks like yes. Alright, we're now looking for the Figer Lord. There's a Figer critter over there, but it's not the Lord. That's just a named baddie. That may be the Lord. He's big and fugly. Let's assume he's the Lord. He is... No, he's not. He is the Figer Jotun. This must be the Figer Lord. There we are. We got him. Let's take a look at the Figer Jotun. Does he look like he's something we can handle? Level-wise? Oh yeah, should be able to. Not going to help if my shot just lands off. Got him. He dropped a bag of goodies. We got another Figer dude over here. We'll take care of him. He also should drop a bag of goodies. Kind of like goodies. Because they're good. This is the Figer Invasion Commander. Did he not drop a goodie? Yeah, he did. We will once again use the magic of anima. Anima. With an A. At the beginning and the end. Not an anima, which is always in the end. By definition.
Namaste.
Right. Namaste. I just received word from R&D that this data is giving us fresh insight into Draug behavior. They appear to have a more complex ecology than we first thought. The reanimated corpses serve as incubators for the Draug pods. The female eggs are implanted through some sort of tentacular energy transfer. You have given our research teams a lot to think about, hopefully. In time, this will give us an edge over these creatures, alas. Not in time to save Kingsmouth, but you cannot win every skirmish. This is, after all, going to be a very long war. Got 2 upgrades for the belt. You want to feed them one at a time until you finish up the dailies, as there are dailies for upgrading. And it's not the number of times. It's the number of times you press assemble, not the number of items you feed to the other one. Let's see. Right, so we can't do Dawning of an Endless Night until we hit level 12. So, we will come over here and see
Hello, my friend.
what Moose has got. Moose is assembling some homemade explosives, but is running out of ingredients. He could use someone to scavenge the streets and stores of Kingsmouth for materials. Talk to me, Moose.
Back in my old life, I always wondered what was around the corner I didn't take, down the road I didn't go. That's how I ended up here, up to my elbows in machine grease rigging bombs. Relax, my friend, I got plenty of experience blowing shit up. I got a handle on death and the instruments thereof, and no desire to see the infinite darkness claim any of us quite yet. These mechanical servants of the Reaper will stay still and silent till I'm good and ready to push that button. Traveling the big countries taught me everything from bull riding to bonsai, enough to cause a man to lose his appetite for destruction. But circumstances require us to yield to the greater good, even when that greater good isn't all that pretty. Road here said I'd be pitching in with soft-shell lobster season. Instead, I found nightmare country. Maybe the very rotten heartland of it. But I'm philosophizing. Life is sacred. Every moment is precious. Which brings us right back around to blowing up dead guys. I've got no shortage of time or ideas. What I'm lacking is the nuts and bolts of it. I could fill a shopping cart down Main Street. But getting out there and back, that's what's kicking my ass, my friend.
Fortunately, I have guns and I'm kind of a superhero. Anfo ingredients. That's, what is it? Ammonious nitro, and fuel oil. Ammonious, nitrogen, anhydrous nitrogen and fuel oil. Basically, it's one of the reasons why the government started tracking purchases of large amounts of fertilizer. Cold packs can probably get them at a fire station. Enough cold packs means plenty of ammonium nitrate. Diesel can probably get some from the wrecked tanker near the lobster trap. Napalm, frozen orange juice concentrate. Hell, it was on Fight Club. Gotta be worth a shot to make my own napalm. Could probably concentrate the orange juice itself. Should be some in the cafe on Arkham Avenue. Kitty litter, that bed and breakfast, was crawling with cats when I went there. Tyler Durden's special mix had better work. Spoiler, it doesn't. Gasoline, I can just siphon gas from the cans in the barricade. Cars in the barricade. Miscellaneous propane tanks, can probably find some at the gas station. Always good for either freezing or burning something. Glass bottles, use the old cola bottles Andy left lying around. Ball bearings, plenty of bikes and trikes around, and not too many kids to ride them. Poke around the kindergarten or near the park. So, I've got to get a bunch of stuff for him to make, splody bits. Alright, propane tanks. Got a couple of those. Getting better with the guns, as you can tell. Number of shots it's taking to take down some of the groups is getting smaller and smaller. Alright, we got an unfriendly coming. I aggroed him. And now he's unaggroed. And there's the three players, the three female players I saw. Well, actually, three female characters I saw running around earlier. Hey, Kanaka. Congratulations on making it to the weekend. Hopefully it will provide sufficient regeneration so you're ready to go for next week and do the whole thing all over again. Alright, the kindergarten. We're going to get some ball bearings out of the trike. No sign of kids. Presumably they got et. Go to Jack and Wendy's. Jack and Wendy Dufresne. That is a double Stephen King reference. kitty litter. And a suicide note. A note is pinned to the door. It reads, I lost my husband of only a week to the fog. He followed the calls and walked into the sea like so many others. Why I was spared I don't know, but living without him now that I just found him is punishment worse than death. I will go after him to the pier to save him or to join him. We'll go to the end of the pier. It's not good news. Oh, you think that was part of the scenery before the fog came in and the dead started rising? My gut says maybe not. Another player. And there's Wendy. But first there's some more. And now we'll check Wendy's. Oh, she dropped a shoe. We've got a spirit. Deranged specter. Broken pendant. I'll pick that up. Now note, we've got... Where's the derelict trawler? We've got another... Oh, I missed it. I should be able to make it. Yeah, we've got another lore object. Jumping is not a mechanic this game handles gracefully, let's put it that way. Unlike, say, Guild Wars, which has a movement system that solidly supports jumping puzzles, this one does not. But then, to be fair, most games don't. Why, Mr. Wobblebottom, good evening. Of course, good morning. Yeah, it is such a good zone for capturing the feel of the game, though. Creepy, but funny. Lots of references to movies and TV shows and books and stuff.
Local bounty detected. Initiated.
It also introduces you to the things like the investigative missions and stuff like that. Let's see, go to Kingsmith Volunteer Fire Department. It's over here. Have you been playing anything lately, Sethka? And equally, are you all prepped and ready for the Umbar expansion that's coming for Lothra? where we get not Corsairs, but Mariners as a new class. Let me go ahead and cash this in. One cannot but lament that woman's misfortune, having in her possession a pendant that protected her from the fog, only to lose her newlywed husband to those very same horrors. One might even call irony. We can't help the woman now, but we can study the protection granted by the pendant, and we shall. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. Such pieces of arcane wording are of utmost interest. It's a shotgun. I don't use shotguns. I use pistols. A more elegant weapon for a more civilized time.
Additional assignment received. Initializing.
I have to defeat local zombie firefighters. They do not go quietly. These are just good old-fashioned zombies. These ones don't have the cordyceps involved. At least not that we know of. Doodaloo. Fire Chief McCaffrey is another named mob that'll drop a bag of goodies. I feel a sneeze coming on, so I have to move quickly. Sneeze negotiated successfully. Cold packs here. And I think we have to come back for the fire chief at some point, but it's fine. He's undead. He just comes back. What doesn't come back is once I get this piece of lore.
Promoted. Faction rank
I have
increase.
been promoted.
Congratulations, follower.
I object to being described as a follower, but I appreciate the, promotion. Ready to delve, ready to fight. I believe that means theoretically I can do PvP and the first dungeon. I have done the dungeon. I don't think I ever did PvP. I have ranked up in my faction.
You seem to have produced an unqualified success.
Thank you.
Hopefully one
Richard.
of many successes in our future, for the sake of all concerned.
Follower, novice, or trickster? I'm going to go with trickster, clearly. Because Loki's cool. We will upgrade our waist with a waist. And our gun with a book. A 2-pip magic focus. That one's even got a proc. Well, that's nice to have. I'm going to hold on to that. Next up, the cafe on Arkham Avenue for some orange concentrate. Putting Moose's ingredients in Moose's box. That is not a smutty euphemism. I've seen more players tonight, though, than I've seen in-game in a long time. At least 5 other players. Now, mind you, there's a cap for the map, for every map. I don't know what the cap is, but that's definitely the most players I've seen, at least 5. Doodaloo. Splendid work. I'm very encouraged by your ability to roam and scrounge up necessary ingredients. Our enemies are relentless and demonstrate rudimentary combat skills. However, they clearly haven't grasped the nuances of blocking any roads and securing access to supplies. Advantage humanity. Now I understand you've acquired some destructive ingredients for your friend. One assumes the next step is to detach limbs of our enemies in some truly spectacular fashion in order for us to test their weaknesses, of course. It's another book. I'm going to feed the book to the new book. And we'll start leveling up the book. Let's see what we've got. What level are we? Oh, I did it again. I am now level 10. We have to get to 12 before we can do Dawning of an Endless Night. The next phase, where we go into the sewer to meet Joe. Hey Joe, where are you going with that gun in your hand? Missing persons list. A list of missing people serves as a sober reminder of the lives affected by the horrible events on Solomon Island. Some of them could still be alive and in need of help. Not likely, but possible. Tier 1, search for the people listed on the note in the police station. Find out if they're dead or alive or somewhere in between. You can hear the sound of a helicopter in the distance. And yes, it is a black helicopter. Because all the conspiracy stories are true. Essentially. Or more or less. Alright, we've got a delivery to Kingsmith Congregational Church. The mail's probably not been delivered since before the fog. In the current situation, who could blame the Postal Service? Still, receiving packages might lift the spirits of the few remaining survivors on the island. We'll take this package and we'll deliver it to... Whoops! The pastor? United Church of Christ. Doobie-doo. I'm looking for somebody in here. Is it Christopher Martin? Christopher Martin. I found Christopher Martin. We found our first. This guy has got a bunch of quests. He's got 2 investigation quests, which are the really cool ones. The extremely, sometimes very, very challenging ones. Another waste. Well, I won't let that go to waste. My apologies. The synchronized flopping team. one of them managed to take the first 3 shots and not fall over. And here we are looking for John Allerton. That's not him. That is. So, he didn't make it. Unless by make it, you mean still walking around. In which case, yeah. Unfortunately. I think you see why I like pistols. And in here we are looking for Joseph Rogers. Hey Joe, where you going with that gun in your... Oops, he's not doing so great. We'll make sure he stays down. Sorry, Joe. We found Francis Eaton. We don't want to know what he's been eating. Or what's been, before that, what's been eating him. Just never strikes. Corpse of Mary Brewster. Yeah, that's her corpse. Ah, and the fire chief. Yeah, we've already met him. Presumably he got up and decided to go for a walk after. And the chief. Hail to the chief. As in hail of bullets to the chief. Ever feel like you're not getting ahead? Did they start you at the bottom and make you go down? I bet you all the office parties start at 5 and end at 7. Well, not everyone is full of shit. We've been watching you, and we like what we see. Ever been to New York? This is not an invitation. This never happened. Just something to think about. Later, Gator. That was me being contacted by the Illuminati. We've got enough SP for another passive. Grab that one. I think this is the next one. Critical hits with dual shot. are more potent, dealing an additional 40 fizz. And those are my meat and potatoes skills. Single target and multiple target. Right, we are going to grab the one that takes us to Madame Roger. She's got the other mail package over here to be delivered. She was the one that was hitting on Dr. Bannerman, about which he had to say dynamite. Neither snow nor rain, no zombies. The mail's probably not been delivered. Right, we read through that. The ravens knock. Doopy-doo-boop. We deliver it. I think this gets me a government pension. I mean, I delivered the mail. Twice. Another amulet. Be fed. Is it Shift J? Yeah. So we've finished the first tier of dailies. The second tier here, we need another 56 monster kills, 5 main missions. We won't get main missions done because we need to level up to 12 before we can continue on the storyline. But we'll get the side missions and possibly the item empowerments done.
Don't mind the mess.
Madame Roger has been having dark visions involving ravens. Locate the source of her visions. Beaks and talons, tearing and clawing and screeching, wings of death and pestilence, a black, timeless malice covering Kingsmouth like a funeral shroud. Madame Roger's recurring dreams suggest the ravens of Kingsmouth are significant. Madame Roger, talk to me.
I sense an alien presence. The fog obscures a terrible truth concealed behind a veil of... Sorry, old habits. Hey, just so you know, I don't do readings anymore. I've been outside. You don't need second sight to foretell our future. We're all doomed. It's not like I'm gonna need the money. It's strange, but it's the dreams that really get to me, not reality. I can handle reality, but those nightmares just... It's like a really annoying song that gets stuck in your head, repeating over and over and over again.
Dreamworm.
The dreams are always about ravens. Thousands of ravens. Flapping wings, black feathers, dead eyes. Beaks and talons tearing and clawing and screeching. Wings of death and pestilence. A black, timeless malice covering Kingsmouth like a funeral shroud. You get the idea. I don't know what any of it means, but it's doing a number on my beauty sleep, I can tell you that.
All right. Search for the ravens. And follow them. Oh, there's a raven right there. And it flies off. We got more ravens. And they fly off. More ravens. And they fly off. Oh! A revenant. A revenant feather. For ravens, I'm looking. ravens. Basically, you want to straight line sight after them, as they should lead you to the next batch. Or possible interruption. I think if they're circling like this, I think that means the Revenant is about to show. He left another feather behind. Ravens. Feather in his hat and called it macaroni. We've got a named mob here. It's Mr. Freezy. He'll drop a bag of goodies for us. Oops. And the ravens. Ravens. Doodaloo. Sticks and stones. Chase away 10 flocks of ravens. And we've got ravens all around the water. Lost cell phone. You find an abandoned cell phone despite having cracked the screen and being wet. Phone still seems to work. The owner is still alive. They'd probably like it back. Label on the back of the phone reads, property of Danny Dufresne and Son Marine Supply. I mean, don't. We'll pick it up, but we'll go right back to the quest we were on. The Raven. That's the phone book. There we go. Got a body with a mysterious note. Bind malevolent spirit, placing reagents at point of star. Reagent equals, well, we know what the reagent is. We picked up 3 feathers. So, let's get it again. So we are at the southwest, and there's one already there. Northwest. Yeah, so it should be north. East. And south. There's the pentagram. And the bound revenant. We got him. See about what I mean about quests that require a little bit of thinking? Not too much, especially you're watching me do it, and I've done these a dozen times or more. 'Tis not the wind, I'm afraid. The Revenant is an old enemy of ours, a creature that smells death and foretells further misery. We've received similar reports to this in the past. One Ms. Rose White had an encounter much like yours. How this creature is tied to the park in Kingsmouth is another thing entirely, and something we should look into in the future. If there is a way to use this information to our benefit, we will certainly find it. We will upgrade the waste talisman. so it doesn't go to waste. And the amulet, neck talisman. And that is another of the dailies complete. We grab the lost cell phone. That's to Dufresne and Sons. Where we have already been. Bump bump. Scribbled note. Gone skating, Danny. Place the phone in the mailbox. Quest. Upgrade the amulet again. Right. I think occasionally it hurts, but it's probably best that I at least try. Check the church. And check the steeple. Open the door, and there aren't many people because they've all been turned into zombies. Don't you hate it when that happens? Check in with the Padre. Henry Hawthorne. According to Henry Hawthorne, the Kingsmouth Congregational Church is protected by ancient Illuminati wards. Investigate the wards and try to figure out how they work.
Blessed are the meek, but doubly blessed are those who do the Lord's work boldly. It is through His grace that we find sanctuary in His house, when His house is besieged by zombies. Not to belittle the Lord's work, but perhaps the illuminated ones made this place a safe place through some conjuration of theirs. Blessed by the Lord, of course, or at the very least tolerated. Whatever the providence of our sanctuary, it extends no further than the doorstep. Even the cemetery spills over with the devil's spawn. I've tried prayer, I've tried my 44, but Satan's wearing Kevlar, and Bible thumping just pisses them off.
Draw zombies into the church. Well, that should be easy. Zombies. Okay. Seems pretty straightforward. Study the first Illuminati ward. It's right by the door. Study the second Illuminati ward. We've got return to townies. The second Illuminati ward. I think the third is over here. Draw the first ward on the graveyard. Fence. serves this summon something, because of course it does. Unquiet Dead. This one's over there. Two people departed there. Guess they don't bring a friend. Well, they're sharing a meal. I thought they were friends. Draw the third ward on the far end of the graveyard fence. And of course, as is tradition, grab the lore. Whoops. And we've got another critter that we can... Oh, here he's coming on his own. How nice. The Vengeful Hulk. And apparently he would like to smash. How typical. Hulk smash. Is that the best they can come up with? Hulks are just very limited in their approach to things. Is smashable? Then smash. Is not smashable? Smash harder. We'll let them go in for their warm, friendly welcome. The Illuminati Magi are all revisionists, but every now and then they do get it right. Kingsmith holds more than its share of Illuminati secrets, knowing their poor ties to tradition and history. You are as likely to discover these secrets as they are. The wards in the church are maintained by infused ancient symbols. Your attempts to apply them showed hopeful results, but these things cannot simply be replicated and reproduced. Advanced anima techniques require ancient foundations and years of accredited study. Upgrade our amulet. Again. We can run a couple of the missions we ran yesterday a second time. Basically, any non-story mission can be rerun for XP and rewards. Unless it's different for the free-to-play, which I doubt it is. But we'll find out. I'll check. We'll go talk to Boone. The guy making the mesquite beans when you first come into the map. it's on cooldown for 43 hours? Weird. Huh, maybe it's the... So it looks like obviously they've got a cooldown on them. But of what? 44 hours? 45 hours? Because it was yesterday, maybe an hour earlier than this. Hour and a half. 45-hour cooldown? That strike anyone else as weird? That answers the question. Maybe the cooldowns are shorter for the pay-to-play players? I don't know. But 45 hours is a weird number. I'm just saying that's a weird number. Yep, 43 and a half hours, so... Interesting. So that is a potential difference, making leveling a bit slower. Shoot them, not me! Shoot them, not me! Ah, fooled them. I'm worse than a zombie. I'm a superhero. Well, Helen's got another quest. Helen, Bannerman, and the survivors at the police station are running out of supplies. Go around to the stores and businesses of Kingsmouth and look for food and other things they might need. Talk to me, Helen. Helen, talk to me. By the way, your husband was checking out...
Ain't this a heck of a thing?
Madame Roget.
3 years without firing a shot. Other than putting down some animal got itself hit by a truck. These past nights, we've gone through bullets like candy at Halloween. I used that jail cell to dry out old paperwork mostly. Well, Bill Dexter when he'd had a bad one. Now I've got all these folks good as locked in here, and no sleeping it off for the morning either. The way things are headed, I'm seeing us outlasting our supplies. Not by much, if it comes to that. Andy finds what he can, but with the cruisers stuck propping up the barricade... So I'm obliged to anyone who'll poke around town a piece. Bring in the essentials. We can call it requisitioning. I don't think the store owners will be writing this one off as an act of God.
Alright, find a local phone book. Fortunately, there happens to be one right next to the local phone. Call of the Wild on Main Street. Flags Pharmacy on Main Street. Cycle Gas Station again on Belmont. And Creed Brothers Hardware on Main Street. Oh, looks like they want me to go to Susie's Diner first. I think I killed Susie yesterday. Re-killed Susie yesterday. So other than the time limitation on replaying side quests, there doesn't appear to be any difference that I've noticed from the regular play and the free-to-play implementation. At least not yet. Alright, Susie. There's Susie. Alright, we got preserved food. Preserved food. Preserved food. Alright. Next up, Call of the Wild. Ammo box and ammo box and I think on the third one we get a friend. No, I guess it's not here. I guess it's the next one where we get a friend. That's right, it's the hardware. Cree Brothers Hardware Supplies. Enter. Or maybe don't. Jury-rigged protector. Okay, so the Cree brothers put themselves together a little golem. And it's another one of the dailies complete. A little extra XPs, you know. The pharmacy, it's locked up tight. Use a phone book to locate sources of first aid. Spoiler, it's a place we've already been twice. Let me check that phone book. Oh yeah, the volunteer fire department. They'd have first aid. Nice atmospheric music. Minimalist, but effective. Take the first aid. How many kits do we need? We need 2 more kits. Kit number 2. Kit number 3. Optional. Open the map with M. Click on the animal wells. Oh, well, I've used the animal wells. Thank you for the tutorial. For teleporting around town, gallivanting. General gallivanting. So I didn't get them the hardware they were looking for, or the stuff from the pharmacy. Aspirins would be good, because I imagine zombie apocalypse is kind of a headache maker. I'll put the supplies in the supply closet. Doodaloo. Aiding the locals in the face of the inevitable. Your tenacity is admirable, though perhaps a bit blue-eyed. Well, I am blue-eyed, obviously. On a positive note, you have provided us with some useful data of Kingsmouth Town. We have a clearer picture of the situation at hand, and it doesn't look good, at least for its unfortunate civilian population, but we still have a decent chance of containing the threat, and that's what you're there for. At level 11, so we're going to need one more level before we can continue on with the storyline. But I think I'm going to call it there. That's a very good break place. So tomorrow, I expect to come back here. So far, the free-to-play experience is essentially exactly the same as the base game experience for someone who's bought it. Obviously, it's not the same as a subscriber. Subscriber gets lots of benefits for extra XP and stuff. But someone who had purchased it in the past, the way I have, and has played it a bunch since, the only significant difference is the cooldown on replaying side quests. And maybe it's not just side quests, maybe it's anything but the main storyline quest. Regardless, those appear to be on a 45-hour cooldown. So, I should be back at it again tomorrow, the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe. I hope you had some fun tonight. I hope the rest of your Friday night goes great, and I hope your weekend is genuinely awesome. Because you survived another week, you deserve some awesome. I should be back tomorrow. Hopefully you'll see me soon. Have a great night tonight, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Take care, and ciao for now. Good night, all.